All right, hello. Come join me on my couch for your edition. Now let me stop. What's up? Que pasa, YouTube? What's good? Yes, your eyes do not deceive you. You have read this title correctly. The Durham Druddigons are coming back to Gen 7 Wi-Fi Draft League. So I don't know about y'all, but I'm super hyped. Shouts out to Just Kurt for running the PMU. Now this is not technically an upload required. That's the cap. This is not an upload required league, but I definitely do want to upload it because it's been a minute since I've done anything Wi-Fi related for Showdown. Like I've done Gen 7 battles for like team tours and stuff in the past, like the past year or two or so. And those have been fun, but those have been on Showdown. So this time we're on Wi-Fi. Now, quick disclaimer, I am going to be trying to upload my games live like I used to do back in the day. You know, 7 Gen, if you hear that, that's the cat trying to get up in the window. Sorry about that. And the only issue is I really need to shave this, don't I? Yeah, I'm going to have to shave after this. Anyways, I'm in a rush right now. But yeah, so the only issue is that week 1 will most likely be post-com because I already did it. And I still got to figure out my 3DS stuff and buy a cable for my 3DS so I can still play it on my computer screen and stuff. But definitely week 2 and onward will 95% chance most likely be live commentated. Now, there's no real set upload day for this, but I think the coach just kind of decided, oh, hey, Fridays. And I was like, oh, yeah, I procrastinate. So we're here on Monday with the draft analysis. So maybe I'll get week 1 up on this upcoming Friday, and then I'll try and keep up with it every Friday for you guys. So yeah, please let me know in the comment section below if you guys are excited for this. Again, it's been a minute since y'all seen the Durham Druddigons in Gen 7, and you know how awesome we were in Gen 7 draft leagues. So if you guys are excited for this, make sure to Dragon Claw that YouTube algorithm. Let me know what you think about our draft at the end of it, and I'm going to be doing this a little bit different. I'm going to try and have some the little graphics just pop up here, and I'm just going to kind of be here on the side probably, or I don't know. We'll see how things go. Either way though, really excited for this. We got a really fun draft. For those of you who follow me on Twitter, you may have already seen our draft. You know that we got a bunch of Pokemon I've actually never got to use before in Gen 7 draft leagues, and I haven't got to use much in Gen 8 either, so that should be exciting. So our first pick here, I think I was pick number 10 overall. There was 2 Pokemon, literally just two Pokemon I wanted so badly going into this draft. That was Deoxys Speed, which I realistically thought would fall to me to 10. And then Diggersby. I don't know why, but I really wanted Diggersby. I also originally wanted the core of like Diggersby plus Mega Medicham, just double, well, pure power and huge power, just absolutely murdering things. So I was like, if I can at least get 2 of those 3, I'll be perfectly happy with that. If anything, I at least want Diggersby and Deoxys Speed. Those are like the main 2. Mega Medis, like that would be awesome, but if I don't get it, it's fine. So for pick number 10, it gets to pick number 8. I think it was like 7 or 8, and there goes Deoxys Speed. I was so devastated. I was so upset. I was so sad. I was like, there's no way nobody's getting Deoxys Speed. There's like so many good Pokemon. So yeah, Deoxys Speed. I was like, I'll get it at number 10. No, it's gone. So yeah. So it gets to me at number 10. I don't know what I want. There's cool options, I guess. And I was like, you know what? I'm just going to go ahead and get Big Bird. Big Bird, aka Tornadus Therian. I've never, ever used Tornadus Therian in 7th Gen with Z moves. I have used it in 8th Gen in a little fun Showdown League. I made it to the semifinals of that with like Nasty Plot and obviously Boots. 7th Gen, there's no Boots though. So that does kind of hinder Tornadus a little bit, but it still has Regenerator, which is a broken ability, honestly. So rocks aren't that big of an issue to it. As we know, Big Bird is super fast, super strong. Doesn't get access to Nasty Plot though, unfortunately, here in Gen 7. But with Z moves, this thing is an instant nuke. With Z Hurricane, some decent coverage with like Heat Wave, Psychic, Sludge Bomb. Does it get Psychic? I want to say it gets Psychic. Yes, it does get Psychic. Okay. So, yeah, well, it doesn't have Nasty Plot or Boots. It's still very fat. Great Z-move mon. Actually, kind of spoiled that, I guess. It is our Z-move user. But, yeah, very fun mon. Hoping that it can definitely pull its weight here. So, on to round number 2. At this point, I was like, all right, you know what? Mega Medicham is still around. Mega Medicham is one of the mons I want. I really doubt it's going to come back to me if I don't get it this round. So, I debated on it. And then I also realized, oh wait, Mega Glade is still on the board, and that's definitely not coming back. And I've always debated between like Mega Glade and Mega Medicham. Arguably, Mega Glade is probably just a little bit better, mainly for the fact that it's faster, it's more versatile, while Mega Medicham does just kind of come in and murder, essentially. It's not really like a pivot or anything like that. At least with Mega Glade, because it's already so strong, and it typically runs setup, like, I can invest into its bulk and kind of switch it in maybe on one hit, and then from there maybe get like a justified boost or something if it comes down to that. Also, I figured if I get Diggersby, then I still have something with huge power to with double power, I guess, to double its attack, to just absolutely smack things. So I was like, you know what, let me get Mega Glade. It's been a minute since I used Mega Glade. The last time I used Mega Glade, I made it to the finals of a draft league, sorry, brother. And yeah, Mega Glade, like I said, awesome mon, very versatile. I've seen it ran as bulky sets too. I've seen it ran like Sword Zands, bulk up, just purely for attacks, sub bulk up, sub SD, sub 3 attacks, like you name it, anything physical, this Mega Glade can definitely do it. So moving on to our round number 3 pick here, I decided on a new mon that I actually never have ever used before, and that is Rotomwash, as you can see here. So Rotomwash is pretty cool. Obviously doesn't get access to Nasty Plot because it's a 7th gen. It still has hidden power though, which is kind of cool. Also, burst berries are back to giving you 33% of your health at 1/4 of your HP. So that's pretty good. Actually, no, hold on. Is it something? Yeah, okay. Maybe I think it was something else. I don't know. Anyways. But yeah, it gets access to Burst Berry. This gives me a very solid defogger as well, because obviously I don't want to have to run defog on Tornadus. Plus now we have a nice little Volt Turn core to potentially get our offense in for free. We have very solid water type and a very solid electric type as well. So moving on to our next round here. This was a mod I actually really didn't think I was going to get. I was kind of surprised that it made it back to me, and that is Metagross. Metagross is another mod I've never really used in Draft League. Like, I don't think I've ever drafted this before, even in like 8th gen. I don't think so. I don't think I've ever drafted this. So really excited to use Metagross here. Very solid rocker. Great steel type. It is psychic type alongside Mega Glade, but obviously Mega Glade doesn't want to take physical hits from fighting type mons, obviously. So I figured if we just double up on psychic typing here, it's not really the worst. Plus we have Tornadus too to deal with fighting types, as well as our next pick here, which is going to be another mon I've never used before, and that is a Mungus. Now I was really debating here on what grass type I wanted to. I was talking to my boy Shuckle King, and he was like tier 3, which is essentially what this Mungus was, even though I think we did points, but they were still pointed as like tiers, like tier 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and all that. So even though I got a tier 1 Mega Glade, I didn't lose points and I didn't gain points, which is really handy. So I figured, okay, I've never got to use a Mungus. I think I originally had my eye on like tier 2 Shaman or Tangrowth potentially, and I've used Tangrowth and Shaman so much in the past already, and I figured we have Rotom, we have Tornadus that already are immune to ground type moves. What's the big deal of me getting a grass type that is neutral to ground? So I decided to go ahead with the Mungus. Now we have a nice little regen core going on here with Tornadus and a Mungus. This is definitely going to be a pain for my opponents to try and break through. Not to mention that Spore. Spore is so free. Being able to choose something on your opponent's team to get put to sleep is actually kind of crazy. Plus it gets access to Stun Spore too, if I'm not mistaken. So that's definitely going to come in handy to slow things down. I don't know why, but for some reason, I always think a Mungus gets knockoff. I don't know why. I mean, its coverage may not be the best, but a Mungus isn't really here to do damage. It's here to switch in and out and just be really annoying with regenerators. So yeah, I'm moving on to our next mon here. This was a mon I really had my eye on early draft versions, like draft plans of what I wanted to get, and I was really happy that it made it back to me because it was one of my because it was one of my tier 4s, and that is going to be your boy the mascot, Damien the Druddigon. Yes, we are using Damien the Druddigon here for our 7th gen Wi-Fi league. This gives us another very solid stealth walker, also another Pokemon that can spread status because of glare. Being able to spread glare is going to be very handy. Definitely something my opponents have to worry about. Druddigon, even though its stats do not seem that great, it hits pretty hard. It does get access to sheer force, which is really nice. This also helps me punish physical strictly offensive mons, mainly U-turners, because my team is a little bit U-turn weak here just because of the momentum they can gain against me. So with Rough Skin and potentially Rocky Helmet, we can deal with that. Sheer Force is really good if I want to go like a purely offensive type of Druddigon, being able to boost a lot of its great coverage moves. And then it also gets access to Mold Breaker, which I don't think I will realistically ever run Mold Breaker, but if I'm facing like an annoying Magic Bounce Pokemon, I suppose, then maybe that wouldn't be too bad because I can bypass Magic Bounce with Mold Breaker and get on my rocks regardless, which is very, very handy. So yeah, solid dragon type, I think, to pair with our Fairy Steel with Dragon Core. So far we got Metagross and Druddigon here. Definitely going to get a Fairy later on, but this gives me another second solid Stealth Rocker that I'm really happy to have on the squad here. So moving on to our next pick here, I realized that at this point I need a Dark type, and I kind of need a little bit of a better speed tier gap between Tornadus T going directly to Mega Glade. Even though it's not that important, I still kind of want to have that there. Plus, I wanted something with some type of momentum, and a Dark type that gets momentum with a good speed tier is Alolan Persian. Now, I have used Alolan Persian before, but that was only in an Ubers League. So it did decently well in the Ubers League, so I figured, well, this is not Ubers. So hey, Alolan Persian might actually be pretty solid here for the squad. Plus, with Parting Shot, this helps Glade set up so much easier because it gets things down to -1 attack and -1 special attack. Obviously, we can't run something like Z Parting Shot, unfortunately, because we only have access to one Z Captain. But it does get some nice utility moves with like Switcheroo. Taunt is always really nice. Of course, Parting Shot is pretty good. It doesn't get Memento, does it? I feel like it gets something else that I don't remember right off the top of my head, but its coverage is also pretty decent, honestly. I just really wanted this for the speed, the Dark type, and Parting Shot, essentially, because if we get some more setup, and it gives us a knockoff mon, too. I don't know why. Oh, yeah, knockoff. Knockoff was the move I was thinking of. Yeah, knockoff, Parting Shot, Taunt, all really great supportive moves to have. And Switcheroo as well if I want to go down that route to cripple something as well. So yeah, Alolan Persian, really excited to use this mon. Haven't got to use it in a regular non-Ubers League. So yeah, I go on to my next round here. I don't know what I was trying to say there, but moving on to our next round here. This is where I started to really kind of focus on exactly what I wanted in my last few slots. Obviously, I realized, all right, I still need a Fairy. Diggersby is still on board. Diggersby's still on board, so I could get Diggersby here. But there's already so many teams that had ground types and or normal types. So I figured that if they want a ground type, they either can't afford Diggersby or they're gonna have to get a ground type that has Stealth Rocks. And I don't think they're going to want to double up on normal type. So I figured, all right, I can wait a little longer for Diggersby. I really had my eye on freaking Sylveon as my Fairy type. If I had been able to get Sylveon, that would have been amazing. Unfortunately, though, that got picked up early, round like 4 or 5 maybe. So I wasn't able to get Sylveon, so had to keep an eye out for Fairies. But at this point, like almost everybody already had a Fairy or they couldn't afford a tier 2 Fairy. So I had my eyes on Klefki, Togekiss, and Slurpuff. Well, Slurpuff was tier 3. Klefki and Togekiss were tier 2, but if I got Slurpuff, then that would leave me with points left over, which is not the worst thing ever. But I was like, you know what? I'll wait on my Fairy. It's not that important. I definitely want to get another really good Pivotmon, and I decided to go with Arcanine. Now, Arcanine in Gen 8 with boots is disgustingly good. Like, it's crazy just how good Arcanine is in Gen 8 because of heavy duty boots. But obviously in 7th Gen, that's not a thing. So I figured, you know what? It's not really that big of an issue. Arcanine's still a really fun mon. I haven't got to use it in 7th Gen draft leagues. We have really good removal in Torn T and Rotomwash if needed. So I figured it's not going to be the worst thing ever if we do get Arcanine here. It's really fast. Gives us a nice former priority with extreme speed, which is really good, paired up with Shadow Sneak from Mega Glade as well, so we can pick things off. It doesn't really typically run offensive sets, but its offensive coverage is insane, like Close Combat, Wild Charge, Crunch. I want to say it gets Play Rough as well. Off the top of my head, I don't quite remember. Does it get Play Rough, or is that Gen 8? I don't know. Either way, though, it does have some really good coverages, and if needed, of course, we can always run Hidden Power coming off a base 100 special attack. It's still pretty good. So yeah, E-Speed, Crunch, Wild Charge, Iron Head, even Body Slam is not that bad. Bulldoze to like lower speed if we want to. So yeah, really fun mon. I've always loved Arcanine. Arcanine is probably one of my absolute favorite Pokemon ever. Just love the design. I've loved it since Gen 1. So really excited to have it here for the squad. So moving on to our round 9 pick here. Again, Diggersby still on the board, man. Diggersby sitting right there. I could get it right now, but there's also, I think, one person that could possibly get the fairy that I want to get. So I decided to wait for a second and thought it out. And I figured, you know what? I'm just going to go ahead and get Togekiss. I was really debating on getting Klefki, but I was like, I don't really want to double up on the steel typings with Metagross, especially if I need a fairy and a steel in the matchup. Then if I have both Metagross and Klefki as my steel and fairy type respectively, obviously, then that's really bad because they're both weak to ground and they're both weak to fire, which dragons typically learn fire and or ground moves anyways. So I was like, you know what, I'm gonna get Togekiss. It pairs up a lot better with Metagross. These actually make a pretty good core between the two of them, which is amazing. Not to mention that, of course, Togekiss is known for Serene Grace, Thunder Wave, Air Slash. We have Glare on Druddigon, we have Stun Spore on a Mungus, we have Thunder Wave on Glade and Rotomwash if we really want to do that. So really excited to have Togekiss here. I've never ever used Togekiss ever in a draft league. I definitely want to use it in Gen 8. Just haven't got the chance to, but hey, we get to use it here in Gen 7, where it's still a very potent, scary monster because of its great bulk. Again, T-Wave, Air Slash with Serene Grace is very problematic. It does get access to Nasty Plot too, which is amazing. Momentum in the form of Baton Pass. Obviously, we can't pass any stats, but we can use it to switch out, which is really good. E-Speed, if I really want to go down that route. Heal Bell too, which is not the worst thing ever if we need to worry about status like that, but we have a Mungus, which is a great status absorber, and so is Rotomwash, so not really the worst thing ever. Trick is great, Yawn, everything that I want Togekiss to do, it can do. Again, I kind of wish it was Sylveon, just because it means that we're not as weak to Stealth Rocks, but Rotomwash and Torrentine don't really care about rocks, and they can remove them, so I could run Defog on Togekiss if I need to, honestly. I don't really see myself running it on Togekiss though, but if needed I can. Regardless though, not too concerned about not having Sylveon, just because Togekiss is still just really damn annoying in its own right because of what it can do. So yeah, moving on to our second to last pick. At this point I realized, all right, Diggersby is mine. I'm getting Diggersby and I have no idea what I want for my tier 5. Tier 5 was absolutely abysmal. I think I had my eyes on Tangela and Lantern or Pyroar as my 3 main tier 5s, but I already got a fire, normal, grass, and water and electric type. So I figured I can get something else at a tier 5. I'll just worry about it when it comes back to me. So I got to get Diggersby. Yes, I got to get Diggersby. So happy. The one time I've only used Diggersby, I won a championship with it. So I was like, I want Diggersby, man. I want Diggersby. I didn't get Deoxys Speed. Passed up on Mega Medicham, but I got Bugs Bunny. I got Diggersby. I'm happy about this. I'll take it, man. I love Diggersby. I don't know why. It's just such a dope Pokemon, man. I really love its design. Huge power is disgusting. It gets really good offensive moves, momentum with U-turn, Swords Dance, agility, bulk up. Its coverage is really good. Plus, in Gen 7, it gets access to Return and Frustration, which means we don't got to rely on Mega Kick. And it doesn't get Body Slam, so we don't got to rely on that either. So yeah, we can go Return and absolutely murder things. This thing is going to be punching holes for our squad, man. I'm really gonna have a lot of fun using Diggersby. I really think I am. This thing is like it's just so annoying to deal with. It hits so disgustingly hard. Its coverage is insane too. It's awesome. Really hyped. Ground plus normal stab is actually really good. It hits so many different things. And again, its coverage is great. Fire Punch. I think it gets, yeah, Ice Punch, the Elemental Punches, Gunk Shot, Hammer Arm, Knockoff, Iron Head, Rock Slide. It gets Spikes too if I really want to go down that right. So now, down that route. So now we have Spikes along with our Rockers and Metagross and Druddigon. I'm super excited for Diggersby, man. This is the one Pokemon I'm like, yes, we're gonna do, yes. I'm excited. So next off, our final Pokemon, I realized, okay, you know what could actually be really problematic and really annoying in certain matchups? Trick Room. So I kind of narrowed myself down to picking a Pokemon that could help me in Trick Room that didn't really stack up on my weaknesses too badly. And the only real thing that kind of stood out to me that wasn't entirely garbage is Dusknoir. Dusknoir is another Pokemon I've never drafted in my however many years of doing Draft League. I've never drafted this. I've never used it. It seems like a really cool Pokemon. I faced it before. It's disgustingly bulky, by the way. So this gives me kind of like a pseudo Trick Room answer if I'm really worried about facing Trick Room teams. It also gives us some more priority with Shadow Sneak alongside the Quick Attack from Diggersby. We have E-Speed on Arcanine. We have Shadow Sneak on Mega Glade. And we have Sucker Punch on Druddigon. We have Bullet Punch on wow, I just realized I have so much priority. What? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 if you count Togekiss's E-Speed. Wow, this is a lot of priority. Okay, I like this team a little bit more now. I literally just noticed that. Like, I didn't count all the priority until now, so that's pretty cool. It's got a base 100 attack, so it's not hitting the hardest, but it's still doing decent damage. Its bulk is really good. Obviously, its HP being its lowest stat along with its speed is not really the worst thing ever. It does get some decent coverage. It also gets Memento too, which is pretty cool, and Destiny Bond, so I can go like Trick Room Destiny Bond, or Trick Room Memento, or just Memento or Destiny Bond in general, and that in itself could also be really, really handy. So yeah, guys, that is our squad for our Gen 7 Wi-Fi Draft League. Let me know what you think about it in the comment section below. I don't know about y'all, but I personally love this draft. Obviously, if boots were an item in Gen 7, this team would be so much better because we do have Torn T, Arcanine, and Togekiss that are weak to rocks, but that's only 3 Mons, and then we have good removal in Torn T, Rotom, and Togekiss, and then the rest of our team doesn't really care about rocks that much either. So yeah, I really think I kind of balanced this out pretty good. We got a good mix of like hard hitters, good pivots, some good momentum, and just, yeah, really overall, I actually really like this draft. I'm not gonna lie, it came out a lot better than I was expecting, and it's very rare for me to end up liking the final versions of drafts that I get. So yeah, really excited for this. Let me know what y'all think, and with that being said, I will see y'all with week 1 on Friday, most likely. Yes, so again, week 1 will be post-com, so y'all know, but week 2 onward will again more than likely be live commentated. I just got to get a cable that connects to my 3DS and just pop up or just find my 3DS recording software again, and we should be good for weeks 2 and onwards. So yeah, with that being said, I will see y'all later. So later, everybody.